For nearly 2 years, the voice that defined a generation went silent. Jon Bon Jovi, the man whose anthems filled stadiums and lifted millions, suddenly couldn't sing the song that made him immortal. "Livin' on a Prayer" had become a whisper of memory while surgeons worked to repair the very chords that gave the world its soundtrack. The fear was real. What if the comeback never came? What if the rock star who outlasted trends and time had sung his last note? Fans waited, hoping, replaying old performances like they were holding on to the pulse of something sacred. When Bon Jovi finally broke his silence, it wasn't with words. It was with music. His 2024 docuseries, Thank You, Goodnight, The Bon Jovi Story, gave fans a front-row seat to the most vulnerable chapter of his life. Cameras captured the pain, the doubt, and the painstaking process of relearning how to sing. In one scene, his voice cracks mid-note, and you can see it. That flicker of fear in his eyes. For the first time, the man who once commanded arenas seemed fragile. Yet even in that fragility, there was determination. He wasn't ready to say goodbye. Behind closed doors, months turned into years of relentless rehab, breathing exercises, scales, silence, and then slowly, sound. His vocal coach once said it was like teaching a legend how to be a beginner again. Jon admitted he was terrified, not of losing fame, but of losing connection. "It's all I've ever known," he told producers, his voice raw with emotion. "I just want to be able to stand there again, look out at the crowd, and give them everything I have." His bandmates stood by him, loyal, patient, waiting for the day when the stage lights could find them all again. That day came with one announcement: the Bon Jovi Forever Tour. Just 7 words, but they sent shockwaves through the music world. It wasn't just a tour, it was a resurrection. The band would return in 2025, kicking off with 4 nights at Madison Square Garden before crossing oceans to London, Dublin, and Edinburgh. Within hours, pre-sale tickets vanished. Fans flooded social media with disbelief and gratitude. Hashtags like "Chowder Bon Jovi is back" and "Forever Tour" trended worldwide. It wasn't nostalgia anymore. It was history repeating itself, louder and prouder. In his press release, Jon didn't talk about fame or fortune. He talked about joy. "There is a lot of joy in this announcement," he wrote. "Joy that we can share these nights together with our amazing fans. Joy that the band can be together." He described the concerts not as performances but as shared experiences, moments of collective healing. "I'm lucky enough to hold a light out to the audience each night," he said, "and stand in their reflection." That reflection, for him, was proof that no surgery, no silence, could break the bond between Bon Jovi and the people who grew up singing his songs into the night. The comeback didn't stop at the stage. That summer, the band dropped Forever, Legendary Edition, a reimagined version of their 16th studio album, featuring icons like Bruce Springsteen, Jason Isbell, and Robbie Williams. The title track, Legendary, wasn't just a song. It was a message, a declaration that legacy isn't about how high you can climb. It's about how hard you can fall and still rise again. Each lyric felt like a coded confession. Pain transformed into power. Recovery turned into rhythm. Critics called it Bon Jovi's most personal album in decades. Fans just called it home. For Jon, the return to the stage wasn't about proving anything. It was about gratitude. He'd spent years rehearsing quietly in his New Jersey studio, testing his voice, pushing through limitations, "until we can take it to the next level," he'd said months earlier. "All I can tell you is that when I'm in the room rehearsing, there's nothing but love." That love carried him forward. Now the same man who once sang for the broken-hearted was reminding everyone that healing is loud, messy, and worth every scar. As the first notes of "Livin' on a Prayer" echo again next summer, thousands of voices will rise with his. Older, wiser, still believing. The man who once sang about holding on to what you've got has lived those words in real time. And when he steps on stage, under those lights, with that same determined grin, it'll mean something more than just a return. It'll be a rebirth, proof that some voices don't fade, They just rest until the world needs them again. Because in the end, Bon Jovi's comeback isn't just a rock story. It's a life story about falling silent, fighting back, and finding your voice once more. And when he belts out that familiar line, "Whoa, we're halfway there," the crowd won't just sing along. They'll feel it. Every word, every heartbeat, every prayer answered.